Value of time. It was a biting November morning in Manchester when Oliver Reed's alarm screamed at 5:30 a.m. He slapped at it half asleep, promising to wake in 5 minutes. 4 hours later, he bolted upright, drenched in sweat and horror. He'd slept through the morning meeting for his most significant project yet. His inbox glowed ominously with a curt email from his boss. "We need to talk." Oliver, 32 and once brimming with ambition, felt a cold wave of dread. After graduating top of his class in marketing, he'd landed one enviable job after another. His shrewd ideas and creative flair had earned him praise and promotions. Yet, in recent months, as competition tightened and project deadlines multiplied, Oliver had convinced himself that he had all the time in the world. He skipped alarms, postponed work, and convinced himself he could pull late nights or magic bullet solutions whenever he fell behind. Now, that reckless attitude threatened everything he had built. His boss, Caroline Mitchell, was waiting in her office, poised behind a sleek mahogany desk. She was in her late 40s, impeccably dressed, with a reputation for transforming struggling teams into powerhouses. When Oliver entered, her eyes were calm but unwavering. She told him that his project had missed every milestone. His team's morale was plummeting, and the delays were costing the company real opportunities. That afternoon, as Oliver walked back to his desk, each step felt like sand slipping through an hourglass, irretrievable and unforgiving. That Friday, unable to dispel Caroline's words, Oliver found himself wandering into a small second-hand bookstore near his flat. The bell above the door chimed as he entered, and he inhaled the comforting scent of aging paper and dust. His fingertips traced leather spines until one title leapt out at him: The Value of Time by Edmund Thorpe. He sat cross-legged on the floor, opened the brittle pages, and read late into the night. Thorpe's central message, that time is the ultimate currency, spent with each passing second and never recoverable, struck Oliver like a revelation. He realized how casually he had been withdrawing from his own account of hours, frittering them on social media, meaningless meetings, and half-hearted brainstorms that ended nowhere. By 2 a.m., Oliver closed the book, his mind alight with possibility and shame. Rather than burying the insight, he decided to act. On Monday morning, he clasped Thorpe's book like a talisman and marched into Caroline's office. She looked up, eyebrows raised, as he declared his intention to change and accepted her challenge. Track every minute of his day for 1 week and return with undeniable evidence of how he spent his time. The week that followed was an exercise in brutal honesty. Oliver installed a time tracking app on his phone, set to categorize every activity: work on major projects, email, meetings, breaks, commuting, even bathroom trips. On day 1, he discovered something startling: 2 hours lost to social media, 90 minutes swallowed by back-to-back meetings, and only 90 minutes dedicated to deep project work. The rest of the day had vanished into idle browsing, casual chats at the water cooler, and unexpected interruptions. Each subsequent day revealed a similar pattern. By day 4, he braced himself every time he glanced at the app, but he also felt exhilarated. He finally had hard data rather than vague regrets. At the week's end, Oliver marched into Caroline's office once more, palms sweaty as he handed over the printed report. She studied the columns of minutes allocated and minutes wasted, then looked up and asked simply, "What will you change?" That question marked his true turning point. He overhauled his entire schedule. He began each day at 7 a.m. with a silent power hour, phone tucked away, focused solely on drafting the campaign proposal he had been neglecting. From 9 to 11 a.m. and again from 2 to 4 p.m., he applied the Pomodoro Technica 25 minutes of uninterrupted single-task work, followed by 5 minutes of rest. He carved out the hour between 11 a.m. and noon for shallow tasks, emails, brief calls, and administrative work. From 4 to 5 p.m., he dedicated time to learning, reading industry articles, honing skills, and on Fridays, sketching blog posts on marketing insights. After 6 p.m., he strictly switched off work, choosing instead to exercise, cook healthy meals, or lose himself in novels. He shared this plan with his team, inviting them to adopt their own time-blocking rituals. To his surprise, they embraced the change. Sarah, in design, reserved her mornings for uninterrupted creative sessions. Raj, in analytics, consolidated his data requests into the afternoon block. Even the interns, who once dreaded quiet hours, found they could finally make meaningful progress without constant pings. Within a month, Oliver's flagship proposal met its deadline and surpassed expectations. Team morale soared, and Caroline praised the turnaround. "You've given us more than a plane. You've given us respect for every minute. Yet old habits die hard." On Tuesday, Oliver found himself succumbing to a 5-hour Reddit rabbit hole instead of outlining ad copy. Guilt gnawed at him, and self-criticism threatened to spiral into paralysis. Late that night, he recalled another passage from Thorpe's book. "Procrastination is a silent thief. It steals not only minutes, but the confidence born of action." He vowed to fight back with 3 simple weapons. The 12-minute rule: complete any task under 2 minutes immediately. An accountability partner in Sarah, who pinged him mid-afternoon with Plan A, reminders, and a small hourglass paperweight on his Disqueech grain, a vivid reminder of fleeting time. With these safeguards, he stumbled less and recovered faster, learning to forgive minor lapses and refocus on the next task. As weeks turned into months, Oliver's respect for time spilt beyond the office. He had always dreamed of learning guitar. Now he carved out 20 minutes each evening to practice chords until his fingertips ached. Each small victory strumming a clean G chord. Then a simple melody felt like reclaiming hours once lost to mindless scrolling. He repaired frayed friendships by designating Friday evenings for friends, laughter, and board games instead of spreadsheets. He made Wednesday nights sacred for calling his mother, no longer waiting for her to initiate the check-in they both dreaded. Yearning to pay forward his transformation, Oliver volunteered at a local community center to teach time management workshops to college students. He presented his time tracking report, demonstrated the Pomodoro technique, and handed out printable daily planning templates. Many students, juggling part-time jobs and full course loads, were astonished to see analytics of their own wasted hours. Oliver watched their eyes light up as they realized that even marginal shifts in their routines could unlock hours of productive, stress-free living. Their gratitude and newfound confidence nourished him in ways a marketing campaign never could. Nearly a year after Caroline's initial admonishment, Oliver stood before his department in the boardroom once again to present the results of their most ambitious digital campaign. A 35% surge in engagement delivered on time and under budget. As applause rippled through the room, Caroline rose and raised her glass. "To Oliver Reed," she toasted, "for reminding us that time is more than money. It is our most precious resource. May we spend it wisely." Overwhelmed, Oliver surveyed the smiling faces of Sarah, Raj, the interns he'd mentored, and even the CEO leaning forward with pride. No longer did he see only deadlines and profit margins. He saw a community transformed by the simple act of valuing every passing minute. After the celebration, Caroline slipped him aside. "Your struggle gave us all a roadmap," she said. Words caught in Oliver's throat, so instead, he handed her a small hourglass paperweight identical to the one perched on his desk. She turned it over slowly, watching the sand settle. "A reminder," he murmured, "that every grain counts." She nodded, her eyes glistening. That night, Oliver sat on his balcony, overlooking the twinkling cityscape. He held 2 identical hourglasses sewn from Caroline, one from himself each vessel, a mirror reflecting how far he had come. He thought of the bleary mornings, the frantic deadlines, and the silent promise he made in that little bookstore. Never again to squander the currency of time. He placed both hourglasses on his coffee table and smiled, knowing that come dawn, he would flip them again, resolute to spend each grain with purpose, presence, and gratitude. Because time, once spent, never returns, and every single moment is a gift waiting to be unwrapped.